welcome to Papastache 102. So I'm back to my Hendrix happy place. I freaking love this guy. His guitar playing is insane, and it's just licks aplenty, whether it's rhythm or lead. Now, if you're new to the channel or haven't checked it, go ahead and click the link below. There's a video on blues soloing. That video is free, but it's not on YouTube, so you got to click the link to see it. And it's all about how to solo melodically in a blues rock context. So it teaches you how to see the scales not only, but also how to kind of hyperimpose the chord shapes as the chords go by in the solo, so you know how to do melodic soloing. So check that out. The link is below. Again, that video is not on YouTube. As for this song, an indie Hendrix song, there's 47,000 of variations on each progression. So I'm going to give you the 92% accurate version. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you the framework, a lot of the really cool essential riffs, and then just kind of show you how to play it, and then you can fine tune it. But most of the licks will be there. So let's zoom in for a closer look. Check it out. All right, so let's break down this very first part. We're tuned down a half step, and I would suggest, hitting the neck pickup. And I'm going to, well, if you got a Strat or Les Paul or whatever, and if you just, have a humbucker, rock what you got. But to kind of authenticate the sound a little bit, let's try the neck pickup, because it gives that nice, warm, throaty thing, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the open E, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Okay, so it's all down strokes. Then we're going to roll our first finger from A2 to D2, but when we get to A2, D2, that sounds like a Star Wars character. Guitar Wars character. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go A2 to D2, but we're going to bend D2 kind of a quarter note bend twice. So we got. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the open E, and then I'm going to make my first chord shape. Okay, now I'm going to use my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger on the 2nd fret of the E, and then I'm going to mute out the A string with that 2nd finger, and then I'm going to hit the 2nd fret D and the 3rd fret G. So if I played all that together, I would have. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this same chord shape, but I got to hit an E again, so I'm going to take my finger off. And when we hit that E, it gives us time to move up to the 4th frets and the 5th fret. So we got. So it's. Right, and then we come back down. Same thing, open E to get us down. And then back to our original chord shape. So if we put that all together, we got. Then we start over. This time, a little more on this first chord shape. And then we go back up to the 4th fret. And then we get into the riff that gets us into the actual verse. Okay, all downstrokes. So that's going to be 2nd fret D, 4th fret A, 2nd fret A, and then you're going to chromatically go down from 4 to 2 on the E, and then open. Okay, so all together. Gets you into the verse, so let's go over that. Now the verse is going to be almost identical for the first 2 verses. When we get to the 2nd verse, we're going to have to depart and get into a whole nother section for the song. So you basically can use this framework for all of verse 1 and almost all of verse 2, except for the very end where it actually transitions kind of into the chorus. Okay, so the chords themselves is going to be C sharp, F sharp, G sharp on the first pass. Now the second pass we're going to do the same chords, but we're going to go from C sharp to E flat with chromaticisms, chromaticizing up to E flat and then back to here. And then we're going to catch the B. Then on the third round, and don't worry, I'll break all this down again. It's going to go like the first time, but now we're actually going to break away. And then we'll do the actual rest of the part, the rest of the verse into the next one. Okay, so now the actual sound of it. Okay, so now that last little part there, I hammered on from 2 to 4. And you catch the B on kind of like a up, right? So we got. Okay, so the next time around, right? So we. Now when I hit that second part, it's basically like root, high part of the chord, okay? So it's, and then, all right, so, and then we're gonna go back. Okay, so that's the first total departure, okay? So we've gone from C sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and then we go down to G. And you do kind of strum. Now the next part you can basically, it's hard to hear, but you can basically do just 8 downstrokes, let's say, on the F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to shift positions and catch the E up here. B, okay, and then we're going to go down to A, but suspended, so keep the B and E open. Same with the F sharp, and then, okay, so that whole part, once we get to the G sharp to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, E, B, 2, 3, 4, and then A, F sharp suspended, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so B, 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 C sharp. Okay, and then to get out of that, you do that cool. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. So that's in the A string, 2 and 4. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. But make sure you get that timing. Right? All right, so let's put it all together. Here we go. So let's get on to the next part. So the next verse is pretty much identical. Now, you know, in the style of Hendrix, nothing's ever the same way twice. So the rhythm fluctuates a little bit. All the chords, everything's pretty much the same, but sometimes, you know, upstrokes, downstrokes change a little bit. So listen for that. But when we come around, after we do the on this next pass, going to do something different. Okay, we're going to do an F sharp chord, but I'm actually not going to worry about this root note. I'm going to play it like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the F sharp, and then I'm going to make a B chord, or part of a B chord, and I'm going to keep this B string open, and I'm basically going to hit the 4th fret of the D and the G. So we're going to go. Okay? I'm actually going to hit that B. And we're going to do a riff that kind of goes like this. Now, the first time it's a little bit different. So what I did, and what you'll do on the first time, is you're going to hammer from 2 to 3. Okay, on the G string, and then you're going to go D and G 4th fret. Back to D, and then we're going to go G2, back to 4. Okay, so it's... So if I put that whole thing together, it's going to go... Now we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, but we're not going to do the hammer on. We're just going to go back to 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we would go to the next part. So that whole little section. And then we're going to come back up to that E. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, shift down to a B7. Okay, but we're only going to hit the top 3 strings. So we're going to hit root on the 2nd fret, and then my first finger is going to be on the 1st fret of the D, and then we're going to be on the 2nd fret of the G. So it's 2A, D1, G2. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go open E, hammer to 2, and then the same thing on the A. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, boom. And then, okay, the Hendrix chord. So if you took that shape and scooted up 2 frets, or 2 frets, yep, 2 frets, and then add your pinky back to that F sharp. And then, so it finishes the same. So it's similar to the other part, but it's kind of a radical departure all at the same time, right? We kind of finish in the same way. So if I played that whole part from the new part, what we do there is we go on the C sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, B, E, and then C sharp, B. Alright, so let's play that whole verse if I got time before my camera turns off. Here we go. And that gets us into the next part. Okay, so for the last part we're going to do in this little series of video, what we're basically going to do is go back and forth Okay, so that basically gets us through kind of the bridge section, I guess you would call it, and into the solo, which we're going to cover later. We'll do a whole lesson on the little riffs and the solos. But you're basically, and this fluctuates way too much to do an exact kind of a lesson on it. It would take another half an hour just to explain this one part. You're basically gonna want kind of a loose right there. I went and caught it on an upstroke. So we got this time, we're going to go back and then start building. And then up to B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's going to be kind of like we're going back into what we know as the verse, but it's going to change a little bit. It's going to have one hit, and then it's going to go into the F sharp. Back to C sharp. Okay, then you're going to chromatically climb. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be an octave on 6 and 8. So it's kind of strange, but you're setting yourself up for a key change. Okay, so again, or last time. Now shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back. Back. And then dun. Okay, so that last part. Climb. Now what you're going to do is you're basically going to take that same progression we were doing, but you're just going to scoot it up a whole step. So now you're going to be on basically the 6th frets and the 4th frets, okay? Same feel. So we went E flat, G sharp, A sharp, back to G sharp. Then we're going to go E flat, and then we're going to stop once we get to the A sharp or B flat, whatever you want to call it again. Okay, so it's 1, 2, and then you do this cool little riff. It's going to go 6, 8, or 6 on the G, I should say, 8 on the D, 7, 6, and then go up and grab with your pinky or your third finger A, 9, and then A6. So it's so that whole second part . 2. So I would hit it 1, 2, and then do. Okay, so kind of stall on that E. And then that basically sets you up to the next part of the song where it's kind of shifted to this key, and it's similar, but you know how the Hendrix song goes. There's another, 12 parts. So we'll break it down. Let me know if you guys want to know in the comments below all the solo stuff as well. So stay tuned for part 2. Yes! Way to go. See? once it's broken down and you kind of you see what's going on, you know, it's fun. Check it out. Click the link below if you want the blue soling link. There's also a link below to papastache.com, and there's a whole DVD series on the style of Hendrix and how to really kind of embody that. There's jam tracks, all sorts of stuff. There's over 50 licks in the style of Hendrix, so check that out as well. And if you want to round your playing, there's 500 videos over at papastachepop on acoustic and country and pop and all that stuff. So hopefully between the two channels, you can get any gig you want in any town. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the support. We'll catch you next time.